Genshin Impact. I swear, every video essay starts like Genshin Impact, an action-adventure game released in 2020 by Hoyoverse, the developers of games such as Honkers Impact 3rd and Honkers Impact 3rd. If you don't know about this game, I honestly have no idea how you manage that, since every social media site is inundated by Genshin content. I went to a convention not long ago, and because it was dominated by Genshin, to no one's surprise, it made me think about how the community got big in the first place, why the community is what it is, and why I'm a part of it. However, being in that convention made me realize something. Genshin Impact's weakest link is the game. I say the worst with some fine print. It's the worst in comparison to every other thing about it. I still very much like the game. I like it so much that I took a break from the game for so long that I'm a returning player now. And now that the Sumeru update is near, I don't have a lot of time to talk about my opinion regarding what holds Genshin back because, well, recency bias.
Genshin Impact.
Game of the year?
Yeah, but X of the Year type shows are popularity contests half the time anyway, and I don't respect them. All games have their inherent flaws, and that includes Genshin. But Genshin did something that I've only seen a few games do, and that is make every supporting detail of the game so good that the game itself just felt lacking. Kinda like how people who watch Arcane get the urge to play League of Legends. Don't. The world is massive. Genshin is an open world game after all, meaning you get a tutorial and instantly get weaned and put in the middle of the Philippines. You get a character, a tutorial person, and are free to explore the open world. There's Mondstadt, the land of wind and freedom, and alcoholics, the land of contracts and money, and Inazuma, the land of simping for hot anime goddesses. That's 3 regions with an entire country per element, so that means 4 more countries. 5 including Home of Dad Sleep, that are going to be added in the future. This doesn't even include sub-areas like Anime Basement, Sweden, Chasm, and Chasm 2, and it advertises the game as being essentially future-proof for a certain period of time, which is great, especially since a big selling point of games is long playtimes. Looking at you, Dying Light 2. However, Genshin isn't safe from the usual pitfalls of open-world games. Like, once you visit a place enough times, there's no incentive to go back. Complete most of the tasks the area has to offer, and it just kinda dies. When Dragonspine first came out, I played non-stop for 2 days, while resisting the urge to follow sea leaves for 100 kilometers. Where are you taking me? After that, I never found a reason to set foot in Dragonspine again. It feels like a coloring book you finish that you can only stare at now. And unlike games like Breath of the Wild, where you can just make another save and play the game again,
wake up!
Because Genshin is an MMO, you can't really do that. When there is content though, oh my god, it feels like crack. Solving puzzles, just exploring in general feels great in this game. Maybe it's the completionist in me talking, but occasionally I cannot stop playing this game. You know, that is until I run out of content. That's why a lot of open world games resort to a checklist format. Because the devs know that you're not gonna go back to areas if you don't have a good enough reason to. The only truly replayable thing in this game is domain. The reason why I said the worst part of Genshin is the game is because its main gameplay loop is non-existent. There's a reason why I stopped playing for a while, and it's because as time goes by, it's starting to be less and less enjoyable, and it feels like a husk of its former self. I think a lot of veteran players can relate to me when I say that the push you get to do dailies and use up resin just so they won't go to waste won't last forever. Bro, just skip a day, play something else like Raid Shadow. Doing daily commissions net you 60 primos a day. You're not missing out on much. But once you do stop playing for even a short period, you suddenly stop wanting to come back to the game. Genshin has no true endgame, no permanent minigames to do on the side, no repeating completed story quests, and it makes the game feel hollow after a while. Despite all these flaws, however, I think that people should at least give Genshin a try. Because if it's by chance your kind of game, it's your kind of game. And it's not like you play for 2 hours and have to wait for the next update. There's a lot of stuff to do in this game. That's really the main point of the video. It's to convince more people to try the game out, rather than just dismissing it as another anime gacha game. People do have valid criticisms of it, but Genshin is something that I believe one should experience firsthand.
on, grab me, you useless fuck! Oh! Shell.
Main characters.
Man, shut the fuck.
You're talking about the side characters. The P in NPC stands for pawn characters. If you ask any Genshin player who their favorite character is, they'll probably choose a character you can actually play. But we all know in our hearts that the best characters are the side characters. Side in quotation marks because they feel more main than you do in some of the quests. I'm willing to argue that the side characters are unanimously loved. Like, people shit on Xinyan because MiHoYo decided she should have a southern accent for some reason and have close to 0 appearances in the story. Oh, wait. But Ying-er? Chasm Girl? Protect Kazari?
Why did you leave me?
The main characters, on the other hand, like the ones you actually pull for, they're great too. What? Fine, I'll talk about them some more. The characters have real depth to them. Backstories unlocked through friendship levels or just by reading. Questions like favorite food that actually have voice lines and aren't just a wall of text saying, "Diluc likes grape juice, pussy."
I hope you choke on a motherfucking cheese stick, you nasty, greasy bitch!
5 stars, the recent ones anyway, have their own quest lines that are just playable exposition. Hangouts make it so that you really get the idol experience. I was gonna make a Xinyan joke, but MiHoYo put her in the last event now, so it's less relevant. Cowboy emoji. Just like any good game, the characters make or break it. In the case of Genshin Impact, the characters are the game. I mean, it is a gacha game. People build low-tier characters and make them broken all because they just absolutely, unequivocally love that character and want to play with them. And the best part? They absolutely can.
No! Wait!
In gacha games, power levels are usually determined by how many stars a character is given. Arknights have 6 stars, and Blue Archive has 3 stars. Usually. MiHoYo is like,
No.
4 of the most broken characters in the game use free weapons, need no special equipment, and are often given away for free. Xiangling, Xingqiu, Sucrose, and Bennett. These rat bastards are the sole reason why the Genshin Impact Abyss meta is the way it is, because you can't put 2 of the same characters in the same 4-man team. That's why Floor 12 Abyss teams are 90% composed of the national team and whatever else a person got, usually a freeze team, which is Cryo and Hydro, since it needs 1 or none of the characters in a national team. Any combination of characters can theoretically beat the hardest content in the game. If you don't like min-maxing your comps to watch what
Super Idol de Charo
has, you can play whatever you want. You don't have to pull for a certain character to be at a certain stage. You don't have to build certain characters in a certain way. You don't even have to play Abyss. Here's where the problem lies. You wouldn't want the character without their special, tailor-made, unique weapon, would you? Well, weapon banners are a scam anyway. But let's say you do. There's an entirely different banner with entirely separate pity, which is my main gripe with how MiHoYo introduces new characters and weapons. I know you can get by with free-to-play weapons, but the fact that I can have a weapon that is so specific to a single character that it's just moronic to put on a different character, man, what an efficient use of my $300. Now comes the part of the video where I talk about the music, so I can say words like chord progression and leitmotif. What do they mean? Do I look like I know what a leitmotif is? If you couldn't tell, all the music in this video is from Genshin. And, well, there's nothing to say. They're great. Also, as of making this video, they're copyright free. I won't pretend I know music theory bullshit, but the music makes you feel things. I don't know how else to explain it. Maybe some music nerd can explain. But it's just how the somber notes give this lonely feeling in Storm Terror's lair. Dark and depressing chasm music, foreshadowing the mysteries and the importance of this location in the game's lore. And the fucking Genshin is one of the reasons why I stopped playing music on Spotify in the background when I'm playing games. It feels like a Ghibli movie that you can play and watch. Rip Americans and Canadians. They're just good. I don't know any other words to describe the game's music other than good. People often like to cheer on the music producers who make everything themselves, like Toby Fox. And sure, they're great, but sometimes you can't help but appreciate what an entire orchestra can achieve. Genshin is in a complicated place right now. Because the content after each update is limited, people want more out of the game as soon as possible. So the new content they release often feels rushed and incomplete, or just a straight up copy of a previous event. Looking at you, arena event where you swap characters after some time, and arena event where you change characters, and arena event where the arena changes. Arknights, this event was literally just interlocking competition. I'd rather have events released less often, but feel more complete than just rehashing Theater Mechanicus again. The first one was better, guys. Unfortunately, the popularity of the game, doing that will probably make people drop the game after a long time without content. No matter the game's issues though, I still love Genshin. If not for the game, then for everything else. I still watch teaser trailers and listen to OSTs because they're genuinely my favorite parts of the game. And while I did criticize Genshin a lot in this video, I would still highly recommend it to other people, whether they want to spend their entire mortgage on waifus or not. And as the game grows with each update in depth and in file size, it only makes me more hyped to hear about new updates, new features, more stories, and I think I'll remain that way for a very long time. And I wish that more people will play Genshin and get hyped with me. By the way, if you're a new player, good luck trying to know who the fuck Albedo is.